Welcome back, Teen MBS. We are going to learn about Module 2 today. And in Module 2, we're going to learn a lot more better planning. Here, we're going to begin today with a small case study. Here's the case study. Give 5 minutes for silent reading. And this will be followed by a few thought-provoking questions that we'll have regarding the case. Herein, the company name that we have is Breakaway Bicycle Company. Now onwards, I'd be addressing it as BBC. It's a small manufacturer of high-end bicycle frames, and it builds both mountain bikes as well as racing bike frames. Their sale is primarily for the professional bicycle racers. However, increasing interest in the mountain biking as a competitive sport and the exposure to bike racing has received a result in the Olympics. When we are talking about the Olympics here, we are talking about the professional gaming here. Thus, BBC has got an opportunity to expand its business. So that's the first point that you need to note here, that it is due to the Olympics game that the business has got an opportunity to expand itself. Right now, a small number of BBC's frames are sold to non-professional riders who are the very best and who want the very best, regardless of the price. In order to better serve the emerging market, BBC proposes to add additional workstations and designers or builders to increase its capacity for customer frames. The BBC business plan envisions making better use of existing leased space and leasing additional space to meet its need. In addition, the frame building equipment necessary to create 3 additional workstations must be acquired. So if we look at paragraph number 2, it gives us all the things that are needed for the current hour. We need additional workstations where people would work. We need designers and builders so that we can increase the capacity of building custom frames. We also need additional land wherein the entire workstations could be built. All this has to be acquired. Looking at the current market situation, it says that it's due to the Olympic Games that the sport has recently got better. Understanding the business planning better, we need to look at the various dimensions around us. Number 1, we're supposed to look at the competitors. Number 2, we're supposed to look at the market. Number 3, we're supposed to look at the customer response. If I talk about the initial phase, BBC doesn't sell its bicycles to normal customers. 1, because of the pricing. If you read the last line, it says that regardless of the price, that does mean that people are buying it at a higher cost. With the popularity increasing due to the Olympic Games, we would know that in this game, there's going to be a lot more addition. If I talk about the addition, I'm going to talk about multiple things here. When I start planning my business, it is not a simple solution to the problem that I'm giving to the market as a whole. I have to look at the case in depth. I need to have in-depth knowledge and market analysis. What kind of analysis is this? What is it that I need to understand for my business? Let's understand through this short case study. If I ask you now, what are the various aspects that a business needs to look into while expanding? Your answer would definitely be the market analysis, the competitor analysis, the analysis of the product that I'm going to sell. So if I look broadly as these 3 headings, I know that BBC is going to get good competition because of the Olympic Games. They're going to be people who would want to sell their products with the advent of the Olympics. Number 2, there's going to be increasing competition in the market as well. And number 3, their own product is going to give them some specific USPs. When I speak about USPs, these are my unique selling propositions. BBC was already manufacturing high-end bicycle frames, but the only lag here is that they were small manufacturers. They were not manufacturing high-end frame. This is just a small case study where we needed to dwell a little deeper into the market to understand what kind of competition was there, how our competitors are going to react, how the market is going to change. But let's understand this planning phase a little deeper. So here, when we are going into the in-depth break of the BBC company, I have given you the analysis of the market. I have given you the competitors analysis, And I have also stated a few pointers that you need to keep in mind when it comes to the analysis of the entire situation, environmental analysis. We have multiple more case studies here, which we'd love to share with you. And these are world-class case studies. You need to go through them individually, analyze each individually, and look at how planning is being done in each of these. It's going to give you a deeper insight. You should devote minimum half an hour each for each case study here. We're going to create your own business model with the help of a lot of planning in the business scenario. Herein, we are going to talk about multiple things. Let's see this in detail. Today here, we're going to create your own business model. When we talk about a business model, it requires a lot of planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, etc. All these pointers that we read about planning right in the initial phase in module number 1, we're going to execute them in reality today. When we are talking about all these things, let's go step by step and understand each of these in detail. Step number 1 is ideally naming the purpose of the business. What is the kind of solution that we are providing to the customers at large? Next, we're supposed to talk about the customers and value propositions. Who are going to be our customers? Are they going to be middle level customers? They're going to be average customers? They're going to be above average customers? Who's going to be the target segment that we are going to focus on? What kind of value are we going to provide to each of these people? When we identify them as customers, we need to see what value are we providing to them. Next, we're going to talk about the channels and the customer relationships. What are the channels through which I'm going to reach out to my customers, and what kind of a customer relationship do I want? When we usually go to a store or a shop, we see that these people are quite polite and they always want the customer to come back to their store, come back and shop with them. So here we need to understand that customer relationship is what people build upon and bank upon. Step number 4 is going to talk about the key resources, key activities, and key partners. Key resources are going to be those resources that are going to be utmost important for you. This might include human resource, your assets, etc. The key activities are going to be the activities that the business is going to perform, and the key partners are going to be those people who are going to partner with your business. Step number 5 talks about the cost structure and the revenue system. When we're talking about the overall cost structure, we have to look at where is it that the company is incurring costs and what are the revenue streams, whether it's online or it's offline. How are we dealing in cash? Linking the boxes and tying them up, we are going to talk about a small tool here that we're going to use to create this business model, and it is known as the 𝐸𝐴𝐳 tool. I'll again repeat, 𝐸𝐴𝐳 2.0 is ideally a paid software, so I would request you all to go with 𝐸𝐴𝐳 tool only. Next, when you're telling the story to someone about your business, it becomes all the more easy to look at the business model and understand how the business is going. Next comes up the assumptions testing, wherein we are talking about whatever assumptions we've made about the market, whatever assumptions we've made about the customers, etc. We have to bring them to test. And we have to see to what extent these assumptions were true. And we have to make the required changes. That is where we come to step number 9, which is designing new versions. Once we've tested the assumptions, we have to make sure that whatever we have decided, whatever testing we have done, basis that we have to make sure that we are making the required changes.